Today's the day that I'm harvesting some of my Chinese Michihili cabbage. These are my smaller ones here. I had a larger one over here that filled up this little cage that's around it, and I thinned it out earlier and took a bunch of the leaves off of it, and that's what I want to cook today. I'm going to try to cook them just like regular greens and see how they turn out. I think you can also stir fry them, and I think you could just eat them raw in salads and things if you want. But this is what I'm coming up with. I brought them in and I washed them really good. And then I took a knife and I went along the side of each of the long little rib back things that are in the middle of them. And I cut those out for cooking them this way. I think you could leave them in if you were going to stir fry these. But I'm going to cook them like regular greens. I put them in some water. I'm going to bring them to a boil for about 5 minutes. And I julienne cut them into little pieces before I did this to make them small. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook these for about 5 minutes, and then I'm mixing them with some squash and onions that I'm cooking in this black iron skillet. I put a little bacon grease in the bottom, a little salt and pepper, and I like a little cayenne on this too. And I put them in the skillet. I'm cooking them down really good. I like to cook the squash until they start getting a little brown. I love my onions really done. And then I'm going to drain the Michihili cabbage, and I'm going to toss it in with all of this. And I think it's going to make just a wonderful dish that's not only very, very nutritious, I believe, but just tasty because I love squash and I love greens and I love onions. So what's wrong with mixing them all together and making one really good dish? I drained the greens, I put them in, and I'm leaving the sound on for this one because I want you to hear it cooking. It sounds so good. It's getting that water out of the greens. You want the water to kind of come out of them, and you want them to start soaking in a little of that bacon grease taste. I did add a little dollop more so that I could finish this off in here and have them all sear really good. I'm going to cook these down a little while more until my squash starts kind of turning brown and wanting to burn on the bottom of the pan. That's the way I like it. You can cook it however doneness you want, but it is so, so good. And then what I did was I just put them in a bowl, let them cool, and I'm going to eat it for lunch. I'm going to go ahead and dive in. I'm really the only one in my family that eats squash or greens, so these are all mine. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and it gives you an idea of what you could do with your Michihili cabbage. And I think it has been easy to grow this year. I'm happy with it. It grew fast. It grew well. I didn't have to baby it that much or anything. It grows large, large leaves. So when you do bring it in the house and you're cooking it, you do have some bulk to it, a little bit more than you get with things like spinach. I really enjoyed it. This is Lainey from Hilltop Home Place. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.